Hi, my name is Deborah Creekmore, and this presentation explains the details for our second grade animal research report. This lesson is centered around these second grade writing standards. It was centered to meet the standards referring to students will write informative texts and use a variety of tools to produce and publish writing, including digital tools. This school year, I have a group of students who love learning about animals. So for our informational writing unit, I designed a lesson where students use media and digital tools to research and gather facts to write an informative text on an animal of their choice. Students published their writing both digitally and as a written product. From the beginning, students were actively engaged in this lesson because they could choose any animal that they were interested in learning about. While students were choosing their topics, I used Flickr to gather images of animals and projected them on the large screen. These provided students with visuals of the many different animals our world has to offer. The majority of my students are second language learners and students with specific learning disabilities, so visuals are necessary to include whenever possible. Throughout the research process, students used a variety of online research tools. Over here is a screenshot of our online research library, and you can see a small portion of the online resources available for student use. One online tool that students used was Britannica Online School Edition, Britannica Elementary. This tool was mostly used by students reading above grade level due to the reading material's level of difficulty. I like the way the information is laid out and organized. They also include fantastic images. Factsforme.com was another tool students chose to use. Factsforme.com does not contain an abundant amount of information. The articles contain only the important and necessary facts. This tool was helpful for students on or below grade level in reading. PebbleGo.com was a great research resource for my students who read below grade level. The information is clear and concise, the text is read aloud, and there are photographs, maps, and videos included. Students also use the online media catalog to search the available books on animals to check out in our school library. For this lesson, students were to write 3 paragraphs. The topics included information on their animal's physical characteristics, food, and habitat. My students struggle with organizing facts and ideas into a well-structured paragraph, so this graphic organizer was very beneficial in helping students visualize sentence order. Students began by researching and documenting facts for each paragraph. They then used the facts to develop an opening and closing sentence for each paragraph. After completing their graphic organizers, they then moved on to publishing and completing their written informative text. Students then used their informative text to create their own digital presentation. Students could choose to create a presentation using KidPix or PowerPoint. They included online images and animations to represent their animal's habitat and recorded themselves reading their informational text. Before beginning this lesson, students were given a performance assessment where a writing prompt is given and students have 45 minutes to write. This assessment showed me where my students' current abilities were as it relates to writing an informative text. The results of this assessment were used to indicate the students who required additional support in various areas of writing. These students were pulled in small groups or one-on-one throughout the lesson. This assessment was also given at the end to assess progress and growth. This checklist was used as a formative assessment tool in demonstrating my students' writing levels as well as their strengths and weaknesses. This checklist was beneficial in providing student feedback also. This is the rubric I use to evaluate my students' written product. They are evaluated in the areas of ideas, organization, their writing style, and conventions. The levels range from novice to highly effective. This rubric was used to evaluate students' digital presentation. Students were evaluated on the content and the writing they included, the layout of the presentation, and the graphics that were used. Next time I plan to implement this lesson, I will increase the amount of student collaboration throughout the research component of this lesson. The students who have a lack of exposure to technology struggled in this area. Increasing collaboration will encourage peer-assisted learning. Thank you for listening.